started so we can get right into shit. Yo, what's going on, everybody? Damn, it's been a long time since we've been sitting here. Like, it feels like weird being here right now. Like, but it's cool though. We're back finally. It's been like 2 weeks, I think, for you guys since we recorded the episode. Too Many Ideas Podcast. I can't even remember what number this is. I think it's 26. That's what I put on my computer. So, episode 26. Remember, like, comment, subscribe. Keep on tuning in. We appreciate y'all for watching our videos a lot lately. Our 25th or 24th episode got like 1,000-something views on it, so that was cool. TikTok been going well, so we really appreciate the support and everything. And yeah, we just gonna keep getting back into it. It's me and Luke here. Yeah, it's a full house today.
I'm gonna introduce just in case. I feel like there's gonna be some opinions being said without people seeing
in the background. I feel
so
that.
we got Malik in here. We got my boy Colin
in the back corner.
Yeah, and then we also got Levi back with us as well.
Oh yeah, Levi. Y'all ain't seen this nigga in like a month and a half.
They never seen him.
They've ever seen
yeah,
Levi.
but
they've seen him once.
But they usually more so here and give his opinion. And then of course we got Corey.
He hasn't been here in like a month and a half.
Levi haven't
after
been here
ducking
like a month
episodes.
Yeah, we got Corey with us as well today too.
Yeah, Corey's back here on the pod. Yeah,
glad to be back.
Yeah.
But yeah, go ahead.
All right, yeah, let's go ahead and get started. It's been a lot going on, so we're kind of gonna go back. We're gonna leave the most obvious thing for the end of the episode, and we're not gonna get into that right at the start. But let's talk about, because we was talking about it a little bit before, this new Isaiah Rashad project and kind of like the ensuing controversy going along with him and one of our favorite reviewers, Fantano.
I'm gonna use the Tyler segment of his interview into like talking about everything that I want to cover on the podcast. And of late, I don't know if the viewers or anyone's noticed, but the approach that I take when I give my critique and my opinion is that I always try to remember that these people are like going through life as well. Yeah. And that's why I liked about Tyler's shit so much, is because it's like, hey, like there's a point he made about I think it was like Kevin Abstract and Corday and something else. I don't remember exact artists he used. I think it was those two though. And he was basically just saying how like the reference points and all that stuff of like someone may find it trash due to like what they are going to refer back to, you know? And I feel like that really related to a lot of things we talk about on this podcast, like Olivia Rodrigo and Billie Eilish. Like we don't really think that highly of them, but our reference point, who we care about, they're not in the same, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And so I want to bring that up into before I said anything, because I feel like The House is Burning by Isaiah kind of fits that, because it's like, I definitely think, you know, black male, black woman is who his category is or who he's reaching for. Yeah. But my reference point of Sylvia Demo to this is not it. You know, that's how I feel about it.
So you didn't like the album like that?
Not overall. No, I have a few good songs I like, a few good songs on there, but overall I feel like using, you know, what I'm comparing him to,
comparing him,
and the reference.
And I feel like that's the best way to do it, to compare an artist to themselves as opposed to compare them to someone else. So I agree with that.
It was like here's Sylvia Demo, but a little bit dumbed down, a little bit watered down. I didn't like that. But the only reason, like I was telling Levi, the only reason why I didn't like it was the time in between it. I feel like there's so much he went through that I kind of want to know more. And I feel like it was a little more like vibey of telling a story when I want to hear it. I want to feel it. I don't feel like I was able to feel it, you know?
I agree with that. I don't feel like this album was, and listening to it, I don't think it was like super personal.
Yeah.
And I think that's what a lot of people expected from it.
Yeah.
But at the same time, you know, with listening to this and then going back and listening to some of the other work previous to this, it's like, I feel like he makes very specific, like kind of for a type of moment or type of scenario, type of music.
That's what I feel, Levi.
When I'm listening to it, I listen to it in some different kind of settings, like at home and even at the gym or whatever, and it wasn't working. But listening to it in the car on a drive kind of thing, it's like, okay, this all the way through top to bottom, it just like it flows nicely. So kind of like how you said, it's a vibe in a way. I hate to use that word,
I hate that word too,
but it fits that kind of like driving kind of thing. Like when you go from even the slower songs to the hyper songs, it's like it's a nice pace.
Yeah.
Like, and it breaks down. So I like the album, but I kind of understand people like saying, yeah, this is underwhelming because of how long the wait and how much hype was associated with it.
Because to me, if this was just dropped like right after his last project, even like a year after, I don't think I would be saying any of this. I'll just be like, oh, yeah, it's good. It was cool.
Yeah,
like,
because he was keeping in line, but after such a long way, after going through everything that he went through that we all knew about, it's like, where's that at?
Yeah,
like,
you know,
where's the stories? Where's the?
But I'm willing, like, it's not an L. I don't want to say it was an L because I feel
Definitely
like
not.
I just, like I said, thinking like a human being, thinking like I said, with the reference points and everything. I feel like this was just I'm back. You know, like, here's this. You know, I get, and this, not to like throw Kanye in here too early because I know that's coming up, but to me, it was Kanye like. Like, I know my fan base loves what I do. I went and got Uzi. You know what I mean? I went and got Black. I went and got Smino. Like, those
And the
features.
Uzi song is a standout.
Those
like,
features could also work at any given point, but that was more relevant to the times, clearly, you know? And so, like I said, I don't want to come across like it was an L, because I don't think it was. It's just, to me, I look at it as a warm-up. Like,
yeah.
you know?
And that's one thing I kind of love, especially about that Uzi song, because when I saw that Uzi was going to be on the project, and because you had told me about the leak and everything, and I hadn't heard that until like this song dropped, but it was just like, oh damn, he's going for the relevant song. But it felt more like Uzi came over into Isaiah Rashad sound.
Yeah.
And even with Smino has a very distinctive sound, but even with that, it was still very Isaiah Rashad, and that's what I really liked about it a lot.
I met someone that knows this young lady. What's her name again? She's on the album and she snapped.
I Am Doechii?
Yeah. Fire. I remember showing JoJo to her, and the songs were like a little, you know, to the left side. And she was like, "This is not it. This is like another vibe." I said, "Bro, it's like one thing. It's one video. Give the girl a chance." Literally heard her on this and said, "This is that one girl, isn't it?" I said, "Yeah, the one you didn't like. Remember?" Like, it's just like, bro, it's just fire. And I was just like, "Yeah, you just gotta give it a chance." I would have never expected
she's
her
buzzing
to.
now. She's really buzzing.
I would have never expected her to be on this feature or even on this album, but she did like great, hands down. How you feel about it, Corey? You got a chance to listen to it yet?
Yeah, I mean, when I first heard it in the house, I didn't like it. When I heard it, when I was driving, I was like, okay, it's better.
Okay, it's
and
better.
that was all I really had for it. Like, I don't.
Yeah, like it didn't really like give you enough.
It didn't do anything for me that was like, and I like if I had to go back to like Sun's tirade, I was still just like, this. I missed the story, but I also was like, I don't feel like he was trying to give a story. Like I didn't hear that from anything. Even the first single with Duke Deuce, I was like, yeah, he's not giving us a story. He's just trying to get his feet back in the water.
And that's
because I feel like he was more so like, to me when I hear this, like, and I'm having to put myself in the role like somebody who went through like 5 years and we don't know really what his life was. Seems like to me he had way more like of a hesitation to do anything that could be wrong because he was already thinking he was out.
Yeah, that's
so
the
this
way to
felt
look at
safe. Like this just felt safe.
I agree.
Yeah, that's the way.
Like it was like, cool, let me get this heavy ass like single out here. Just gonna get the club bumping.
Yeah.
Get niggas' heads thumping. You know what I'm saying?
And I do believe he had fun. That's one thing I want to add to this, because one thing that we're comparing him to, I think those were grinding times. This was like I was lost, damn near didn't want to do music, on the verge of killing himself, to like, I need to get back in a better headspace, you know. And I agree with that point you're making, because all the singles was pretty like head banging, like upbeat things. Yeah. So it overall, like I said,
that's what I feel like about this album. Like, fun.
Yeah, like overall,
you enjoyed making it.
That's what I want to say, or I don't think any of us are saying it's an L. It's just more like, damn, we would have got a little bit
really
sooner.
attached to the previous music.
So
yeah, but I mean, you could say that same thing with, and this is definitely not an L in comparison to how Chance's shit was an L, but like how we were so attached to the dark side of Chance. That was
not the same thing.
Yeah, he hasn't really changed much.
I can't give it that.
That's what I'm saying. Chance took a L. Like he went down. Like fuck. But I'm saying like, even it's the same kind of framework. You know, we were attached before, like, you know, with 10 Day and with Acid Rap. Like that was a very dark side of Chance. So
I
when
wouldn't
he
say
got
dark.
brighter,
I say more of a grinding Chance.
See, I would say grinding, but it's really dark because he was on hella drugs
the
and
concert
like
was
sick
heavy
as
drugs.
fuck.
Heavy
like,
drugs.
Like not even just like being on drugs, but like he was really like his body was failing him.
I guess
for doing all the
it's
shit
a deeper
that he was
topic, but would drugs not be in the conversation of on the grind? I don't feel like people. I would hope not. Once you've made it to the status that you want to make it to, you don't need those drugs. You don't need to be in this mindset anymore because you understand what's gotten you here. You know what I mean?
I don't know. Like, because the one person I would love to ask if he was still breathing, like, why did you need the drugs, was Mac Miller. And, like, to me, like, I don't feel like Mac was grinding anymore. Like,
I do. I definitely do. I think he was in his own circle, but he was never. I don't know. It's kind of. Mac is a different one, so I get what it can go both ways.
If for me, I'm not ready to just attach like being heavy drug use to the grind.
No,
like,
I completely agree.
That's
I'm saying I was just asking.
That's why I think Chance was a little different.
The reason why I don't want to use the word dark, though, I just feel like Chance's come up was just what he was choosing to put out versus what he was choosing. Like, I said this on my Instagram, kind of like, it's a difference being yourself and viewing yourself how you want to be perceived. Mm-hmm. And I feel like Chance, we don't know him, and it's just personal opinion. I feel like early Chance was being Chance in that moment. The Chance we're getting now is him speaking the person he would like to be. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? Speaking to the person that he would want everyone to be. You know, love your wife, kids, family, just like valuable things that everybody will attach to, but he's telling it to you. You know, I'd rather see that than for me to hear it. Like, if I see a picture of Chance down the street with his family and kids, I that's great. I'd rather see that than you tell me it, you know? Mm-hmm. So, we had the discussion several times, and yes, Chance did take an L in the framework of his career, but I hope he can come back.
I think with Chance, though, I would ask you, like, do you think, when I look at Chance, it's more so like he was a product, we're all a product of our environments, but like when I see him, I'm like his whole crew back then, they were all very much like, I feel like Chance was a culture of that environment more so than this is just Chance. Mm. And that's why I can kind of see what you're saying, like, it wasn't necessarily dark, but where he lived at in that product was dark. Like, Southside Chicago, dark. Like, you're having to, and you're grinding at the same time, and like that was just your environment. But like as he continued to grow, that wasn't really who he was.
What is it, Levi? What was the project he did with Kanye on the intro and all that? What was that?
Coloring Book or
Life
of Pablo?
Was that considered dark?
No, that was he was transitioning out of that phase.
And that was still good to me though.
Yeah. What I'm saying, I'm literally just referring to, because even with Coloring Book, you know this, I wasn't really a huge fan of Coloring Book. Mm-hmm. Like, I could appreciate it for what it is, but before that Coloring Book was him transitioning out into a more positive light. He was
marketing light.
I'm gonna say a positive light, because at Coloring Book he was starting to get off drugs, starting to, get back with his girl, start the family, like all that. That's why I say it's a positive light, because he was doing things better in his personal life. Like, he was treating his body better, he was treating himself better.
Okay, I feel like you about to step out, Malik. Yeah, you good. Go ahead. Malik's opening the door and closing the door. You good.
Damn, I didn't do my clap at the start. It's too late now.
Yeah, I just thought you would. Okay. What was I about to say? All right, so I would like to bring this comparison to the table. When Tyler says my body good, my feet longer than my legs longer than niggas, my skin is great, all this. What is the difference when he say versus Chance telling you that he loves his wife and he loves his kids and all this?
What is the difference as far as like the music?
Yeah, like, I personally feel like I know the difference, but like, I don't think it's the confidence.
I wouldn't say it's the confidence.
It's delivery.
It's the delivery. Like the way
Tyler
that
say it, you like, yo, this is a nigga that's like.
The way that Chance delivered it was very. I don't know what word I don't really want to say
the creativity, bro. Like, to me, it was like every nigga has that level of confidence that we talking about.
Well, definitely. I would love to hear Chance talk his shit, by the way.
But it's the creativity. Like, he's not being creative. Like, he's talking at you. And not like you're stepping into like this world where like, damn, I didn't even think about that shit. Like, Tyler literally hops on the track and he's like, Rolls Royce. I agree. What? Like, your nigga like, hold on. Like, I feel like Chance just started just saying it instead of like being poetic. Like, he was no more the poet of how he was just like saying it.
Yeah.
And I was only asking because I feel like that's why when I brought up what I brought up in the line, Levi, like, it's crazy to me that I didn't see any until day of course. I didn't see Chance being a part of this project, because Chance's project and Donda, it's very similar. And that's why I love what Corey said. It's saying the same thing. The messages are all pretty much the same: family, love, kids, God, keep your head on straight, and it's not going to be easy. But Donda is like you're stepping into that. It's like, whoa, I'm stepping into this world. And like Corey says, like, with Chance, it was like, no, I'm telling this to you. I'm
saying it, but I'm saying it over just like very generic kind of like stuff. I'm not creating a whole atmosphere for it.
For you to understand.
You get the words, but you're not getting the whole
to me, I like Coloring Book because when I listen to music, it has a color to it, no pun intended. But like when I listen to music, certain music gives you literally like a mood. And like it gives a mood. Like you're listening to it and you can envision yourself in a film, like the art direction.
And color is a good word because when listening to Coloring Book and looking at the cover of Coloring Book, it's like you feel those colors.
Like I think I'm literally like Sunday Candy. I'm literally thinking like, damn, I'm either going to church with my grandmother, which is what he was talking about, or I'm chilling. I'm going to get some ice cream with some friends. It could be my girl. Like at this point, you could really picture yourself in this world.
And see, Sunday Candy is a really like good example of that song because like that Sunday Candy created a whole atmosphere for people from the first like notes that come on that song. Like before he even says any words, it's a feeling right there. You're already in that space. You know what I mean? And he didn't do any of that on the next album.
But yeah, like,
that's kind of like the issue there, and kind of like the difference between him and Tyler with the Tyler album and how he was kind of like boasting, bragging about like the way he's changed and how healthy he is. It's like you hear that from the backdrop already before he says any words. You're already like, this is a certain level right here.
The comparison I'm using with Chance and Donda, I feel like it's fair because it's like. One thing I hate about Donda, it's so to the times, the features, the everything you can tell is like curated to, the most newest of music and generation and stuff like that.
About that last night.
And I feel like, and this is why it's like I don't understand Chance because I think everything he did lined up accordingly. He got the Megan Thee Stallion Meg sounding different and singing in auto tunes. He got like the today's feature to come to him, but it was like. They came to him for him to turn around and just be like, I'm giving y'all the most generic shit ever. Like, you know what I mean? Like, and bro, to have such a historical acid rap mixtape, to even come back after that and still be great. He has several good songs with Vic, several good songs with The Social Experiment. What was that one project with Social Experiment? What was it called? Surf? Yeah, like that was fire.
That was amazing.
I think
so many great songs.
I think to Corey's point though, it was coming to them. You came into their world, and it was like you either hate it or you love it, which is anything. But not staying on the Chance topic too much longer. But at the end of the day, the Isaiahs, the Chance. I know we're going to discuss IDK. I feel like it's more about what they want you to step into versus what they're preaching about. And I feel like Isaiah was you stepped into this, but you wanted my back door, instead of coming through the front door. And you guys aren't coming to the back door right now. You got Sylvia Demo. You got everything
on his interview that he had with Ebro and them?
No, I didn't get
it. I didn't finish it, but he was kind of talking. It kind of put a different light on it. Because it's exactly like he basically was like shocked that people would like anything. So that's why I could like tell like, okay, there was some hesitancy.
Yeah, I don't think
you said he was. Wait,
he was like shocked that people liked any of this music. Like he was like, all right, I knew like people would maybe like 3 or 4 songs off of this. But like the majority of this music, I did not think anyone would like.
When I think it was Punch or someone like years ago was talking about like Isaiah's mindset and confidence and everything. It's not what you think. It's not. So it's
I remember that too. Yeah.
That's why I think this project is a warm up. I think after he hears his feedback, after his feet is wet, he's gonna be like, all right, I got it.
That was literally him in the interview. He was like, it was like 3 days in. He was waking up in the morning. He was like, yeah, bro, to be honest, like, I'm waking up, but it's, like, really shocking. Like, he was, like, literally, y'all know Isaiah, how he's, he's a regular nigga. He's like, yo, I'm really shocked that, like, the songs that people actually like.
Yeah. I think that's a good segue into this him versus Fantano thing and how IDK kind of comes in line with that because, like...
So let the viewers know.
Let me know, because, I'm tapped in. Like,
so basically, and I haven't even seen, like, the Fantano review of his album or whatever.
Ooh, Isaiah's?
Yeah.
So in shortest terms, Anthony Fantano, a YouTube music reviewer that's huge, gave...
Is that the light-skinned dude?
No, he's white. Definitely white.
Oh, okay.
You know what we're talking about.
I was trying to give him a little bit... I was literally trying to give him, like, a little bit of credit, but, like,
with
okay, he's
just
white.
Big glasses.
I don't like calling people white when they're not white, but, like, so he's white.
He might be Hispanic. I'm not sure.
Yeah, he may be Hispanic. I hate that. I hate white casting people, but, like...
I have no idea.
But regardless of the fact... Honestly, if I met this dude, if I met him, I think he's a pretty cool dude. If that matters to any point. But anywho, he basically reviewed Isaiah's project, which I think was pretty. It's like, yeah, he gave it a 5, but for the same reasons why we like it and dislike it, he brought up. It wasn't like this shit's trash. It's a 5. It's more like from where he came from what he was liking. He felt like it was a kind of like you said, a vibe, a one tone type of aspect, and the lyrics didn't kind of match up to what you may have expected it to be. And then he just gave it a 5. would I have given it a 5? No. But it's him. It's his fucking critique.
I
mean,
it's a critique.
Whatever Fantano gives it, usually you would give it like probably like a point or two higher.
Yeah, I'm not gonna lie. Yeah,
that's just how he
You gotta get the
shit.
clicks. Like, at that point, when I think of a YouTube review, like.
But no, he's been. That's something I can say about Fantano. He's been consistent, bro. It wasn't like he blew up and then started giving harder reviews. No, he's been giving.
He's been hard on niggas for forever.
But Isaiah brought up a great point responding to him. So after Fantano after Fantano put out his critique, his 5, Isaiah responded with like, "Hey, you wouldn't understand. It wasn't made for you. Black people this." And then also, like, it's not experimental.
Black people this, black people that.
The reason why I kind of jump over the black people this, black people that, and I would like for you guys' opinion, honestly, because I really want to know, is like, is art not subjective? I don't care if you're telling me go be with the black girl and go fight the white woman. I don't care. A white person, a purple person, a yellow, whoever can like that or not like it. It does not go across all mediums of art, like drawing, painting, whatever. It's like, and I'm not trying to take away from anybody we're going to bring up. I truly want to understand, and if I'm wrong, I want to learn. But I feel like, does it matter? Does it matter who is making the art for you to pull the card of like, well, it wasn't intended for you? I'd be damned if fucking Daft Punk took off his mask, well, it wasn't intended for you, I'm white. What the fuck? You feel me? I'd be damned if C would have told me that too. Like, well, to me, those artists wear those masks or went through that phase of doing that just so they can say the music is for everyone or anyone that cares to listen. Am I wrong?
I think when it gets to, I agree with you in terms of like just digesting it, but when it gets into reviews, like when you're starting to review it, the lens of which you're reviewing it definitely matters.
Okay.
And like the easiest way I could translate this over is like a film. And like one of the first films that came to my mind was like Django by Quentin Tarantino. Like it was made for black people. And like even if you're a white person who's like really comfortable with like these certain topics, people hated it.
So let me hear you out. What's the difference between Black Panther and what he just said?
It's not.
Honestly,
the lens of how it's being reviewed is everything.
I don't really think Django was made for black people though. I've never felt like that about that movie.
Do you think the Tyler reference point applies here?
Explain that a little bit more.
So
yeah.
maybe I took his reference point too deep, but I really liked what he said because it's like he said, you can like or dislike anything, but the chances are you're disliking or liking something is who or what you're.
Oh yeah.
No, that's fair.
I think it fits, but for me, when someone says like, "Hey, this wasn't meant for you, this wasn't intended for you," and it's just like, okay, like I understand like from your. This is just like your reference point. Like as the one who created it, one who made it, you could have intended it to be like, hey, I'm here to put this out for people who are like me, who look like me, who are from where I'm from, right? Yeah. But when you're someone big, small, whatever, you put the music out there to the world at that point. Yeah. Once it's out there, you put it out there for whoever to listen to it. You didn't put it on, this specific like color based platform, whatever. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Like, and once you do that, you kind of have to take what comes with that, you know, and you can not like it. Like I believe that, if someone reviews your music and you don't agree with them, you don't like it, whatever, it is what it is. You don't like that review. You feel like it was a wrong review.
That was what I was going to say. He didn't have to respond. Like,
yeah, but I mean, like, I understand I understand both sides, honestly. Fantano's sides and Isaiah's sides, because it's like when you putting music out there, you're putting anything out there, that's very like personal to you, so you're gonna take it to heart, so you're gonna respond because you feel something.
That's where I draw the line, though, and the reason why I draw the line, the only reason why I draw the line with the Isaiah example, with the IDK, I can't really speak for too much. I don't understand where he's coming from. Was the point that Isaiah brought up, which I agree with, is that he said he brought up the whole black people, and he also brought up it wasn't experimental enough for Anthony Fantano, which I agree. Anthony Fantano does like more forward pushing music. You can tell that, but anyone does. Everybody wants something different. So I don't fault him for that, but that's where I do draw the line, because to me, I'm gonna bring up Get Out, right? Everyone loved it. Am I wrong? Black, white, anything. You like the movie. But to me, it would have been hard for someone of us to be like, y'all can't watch it. Y'all don't get it. there's systematic racism behind these doors and this, that, and the third. We could have said that, but that's to me that wasn't intended. You know, from what I understand from Jordan Peele, that wasn't intended to be a black culture. We come together. It was like, no, I am a black director, and I'm going to represent who I would like to represent while telling a story. I'm going to continue to quote Corey, come into my world, get out, come into this world of how I think, and, you know, continuing with us. Now, I get where Isaiah was coming from because I do believe all his music is extremely pro-black, extremely for the black intended audience. Yeah. But like you said, it's like, you're an artist. Yeah, you're putting this out for the world. You're not saying black only. Yeah. Solange is not saying, don't listen to my music, you white man.
Facts. Yeah, exactly.
So I just don't get why that can ever be brought up. I really don't.
Yeah, I think the line saying it's not intended for you is not fair.
I mean, it's all just based. That's just a emotional response to it. Like, honestly, that's not like there's nothing logical behind that. You know what I mean? Like, it's because you felt like, damn, this white person is talking bad about my music. You know, and it wasn't for you in the first place. So, you know, you can't really do that. But at the same time, like, that ignores the fact that you put it out there in the world for this white man to go and listen to it. Yeah. Like, at the end of the day.
And I would really like to hear someone with, like, I guess the hierarchy of music, someone higher up than us that's in the field to give us an opinion on it. Because I do think there's a lot of points that stem kind of what Corey was saying with, like, it's like, it's their opinion, but to a certain degree, even biting off of what you're saying, is like, I made this personally, so they do know who they want to listen to it. They do know who they want it to touch, but that doesn't mean it still can't end up in the hands of an Anthony Fantano. Yeah. Or like, to me, I think like this, right? Me making clothes, me making any art. Yeah, I may be thinking I want to inspire that next black kid. I want to inspire and help this, that, and the third. Like lately, I've been really into like philanthropy. I've been looking into like crazy ass stories of like women especially traveling, not eating for months, days, whatever, and to become what they are now, you know? But I'm not Asian. It's like Indian women, Asian women, and I'm like still touched by this. But they're not telling the story to say, well, you won't get it. You know what I mean? Like, to me, at the end of the day, you're putting this out. Yes, it may be in your head, I want this black child, or I want this white woman, or whoever you want it to be to get inspired from it. Yeah. But I feel like the masses is who you're trying to make your music to listen to. Regardless of liking it or not, you're putting it out, though. Yeah. You know what I mean?
And I think, like, sometimes the issue is with, especially, like, taking it to the music and, like, people reviewing it, is that someone like a Fantano, and I think one of them, either IDK or Isaiah, said this, but, like, he kind of, like, it's kind of a gate, you know, with him, because he gives the music a bad review, and now people who are on the other side of him, you know, now they're not gonna take a chance on it.
Let's not act like Hot New Hip Hop and do the same thing. Let's not act like Pitchfork isn't famous for this.
They can all do the same thing. They can all, and I think that's the issue with anyone who's saying like, oh, I don't like when people give my music a bad review, because like, and this was a topic a little while back with I remember seeing it on Joe's podcast because it was on another podcast where y'all know Mano, the rapper Mano, and then he has a friend who does like music reviews and stuff. I can't remember his name, but basically they're literally like friends, and his friend went on there and was basically like, yeah, I mean that shit was trash. Yeah. Like, he was just like, yo, you can't say that because we're friends. Like, you can't say that my shit is trash.
That was kind of blown up.
Yeah, and he was just like, I mean, if it's trash, I'm gonna say it's trash. And Mano was about to beat that nigga up because of that. And it's just like, you kind of, like, it's a very hard balance, because like,
I never understand it. Never.
Saying someone's shit is trash is just like, damn, okay, you might not want to say that about your friend, but you should be honest.
I'm just coming from an artist. You know, we're all artists in this room in some way, somehow. And I feel like your level, the moment you can have people around you that can give an honest opinion, to me, you only become better. I don't care what nobody says. As a person, as a human, as a living being, you feel me?
That's true, but think about it like this. Like, let's say Corey is head of music.
I can't give it to you. It doesn't matter what example you say. I'm telling Corey that shit's not it.
No, I'm talking about like if it was your music.
Okay, go ahead.
And Corey is head of music at Apple, wherever he's at, you know, and You send him his music. He's basically like the ticket to wherever you're gonna. Exactly. Like he says your music is good, you can go somewhere. He says your music is bad, you're never going anywhere. Would you want him to go on his platform that he has and say like, yeah, this nigga shit is trash, or would you prefer that he says it to you, gives you a chance to improve on yourself, and then?
It depends how I brought it up to him. If Corey just heard it like day of podcast and he went about it that way, I would be a little hurt, yes. But I wouldn't. He
didn't talk to you at all.
Yeah, that he didn't tell me nothing before. I would be a little hurt, yes. I'm not gonna lie. But I wouldn't hold him to the standard of saying like, oh, we not friends, nigga. Like we about to have to box or fight or whatever term you want to use. Because at the end of the day, me making this, if I was smart, not trying to say that man wasn't smart, Corey would have been in the room for the studio. Mm-hmm. And that's why I like Kanye West's. Because to me, when Kanye's making a song, and when you go back and check the credits, there'd be like 30 million niggas on these credits because they were in the studio. 10,000 people already heard this project because he wants to understand what people are liking right now. Different ears, different that and the third. So if I was smart, if Corey's the head of Apple Music, as I'm making this album, I'm like, you know, you staying in. Like, and if people like, yo, this might be the one because I heard something similar, or Taylor Swift got something like this. You know what I mean? Those are the type of things you have to do if you want to be the best, and continue to, you know, create.
And then flip it. How would you handle it if you were in his shoes?
I would tell a nigga shit's trash. Like, no cap, because like to me it holds the integrity.
He's saying like no, like on the pod. Like
if he was in a powerful position to take you to the next level for whatever you're doing.
I mean, if you didn't tell me, I would.
If he just went on,
I mean, that's happened. Said, like, I mean, that's happened. We have that relationship. Like, yeah, that shit you dropped wasn't it. Like, oh, I didn't like that either. I think it's getting to the form of like the gatekeeping thing, and that's just a problem within like the industry in general. Like the fact that you to propel is dependent on. And Tyler was talking about this, like the nuances. Like there are not niggas that are geeking about certain shit. So like if Isaiah had niggas, or like in general niggas had niggas that was like geeking over this genre of music that he was going
indie academics,
yeah,
it would be a different discussion.
It would be different. Yeah. Like that nigga would give, like that's what I mean, the lens. Like what's his name?
Anthony Fantano.
Yeah, he's gonna give it a 5. Somebody else may get that shit a 9.5 out of 10. But if his platform is geared for niggas that are really vibing, looking for this, it's gonna go differently. I think right now this globalization of music and all these different, the way for you to propel is based off of your reviews and shit is why niggas have that emotional reaction. But I respect niggas holding niggas accountable to like, yo.
Yeah, I mean, like, and Anthony Fantano's situation is different because him and Isaiah aren't cool. There's no, he doesn't owe him shit, really. Like, he doesn't owe him a good review. Like, he owes him an honest opinion of the music because that's what he does.
And like, the score. The score was bad, and if y'all ever get a chance to watch it, you should watch it. The review wasn't to me. Like, it wasn't like a, oh my God.
And to me, it sounds like he gave like LeBron. It was like a LeBron James. Like to me, it was like when LeBron would put up like a 20-point, triple double, and still lose, and we say like, bro, that was a shitty fucking game. Yeah, we're not saying you trash, nigga, but we just say it like you didn't, and, like it wasn't.
And people who know Fantano know that he'll the highlights that he talks about will be like whatever positive good, and he'll still give it a 7. Like he'll be saying all good things and give it a 7.
Like
he's just like, damn, I would have thought this was a better review.
He'll be like, yeah, I like the first 10 songs. There's only 12, but slight 7. Like,
wait, what? And I can't really speak because I'm not a musician
Niggas breaking
at
a 7
that level.
With
like I'm not an Isaiah, but like to me, that's why I question like. Just for me, like when you're at that tier of creating your own art and you're putting it out there, I'm sure like it just seems like a very high key emotional response. Like you said.
Yeah, definitely.
It's so personal.
It's so personal. But like I wouldn't respond.
But there's like you gotta have that balance, bro. Like to be able to look at your work as like personally, like damn, I really put a lot into this. I want people to like it. But then also understanding that there are people who's not gonna like it, no matter how fucking great it is.
No matter. Niggas don't like a lot of music from Kanye.
Listen, there are a lot of Fantano 10s that I went to listen to just because they were Fantano 10s. I mean, not a lot, but like there are some Fantano 10s. Going to listen to them, and it's just like, yeah, this shit is not it. Because like it's not for me.
Yeah, but I get, and that's kind of what Corey was saying, I get the gatekeep type situation, especially when there's not other platforms that will help you. But to me, it's like, if that was an artist like me, like I'm small, like let's say I'm smaller than Isaiah and I'm grinding and he gave me that, I would be hurt.
And that's what I'm trying to say.
Because it was like,
you could drop another project.
Like that was my one shot and it kind of got a low rating. Yes. But to me, at the end of the day, and I think this is a deeper discussion when it comes to like these platforms and these opinions, it's like they have so much power that their opinion just is just too much at times, you know?
How I feel.
And I feel like that's what it boils down to, and kind of like what Corey and Tyler is getting at. It's like academics don't ever cover Tyler, but he's making probably more money than the niggas he talk about. He's doing way better than them. Probably more positive and a better outlook for people that's following academics, but he never gets brought up. He's not doing ignorant shit, doing stupid shit, and it's not fair. And like even I think the best example here actually is the DJ Khaled and Tyler shit. And now we can talk about Anthony Fantano and Isaiah, because it's kind of like you look at it as, of course, Anthony Fantano being DJ Khaled, these two big voices in the music industry, and it's like whatever they say is supposed to like hold so much weight. But there's still people like Tyler, the Creator, and there's still people like Isaiah that's like completely left from what you would think that holds a lot of fucking weight with their following. And it's kind of like, so for you to rate it that low is like, you don't get it, you don't understand, which is the easiest card to pull, or it's not made for you. But no, they do fully comprehend what's going on. Nah, I can't speak for DJ Khaled. He was saying some pretty stupid shit. But I would say Anthony Fantano is pretty up to date on what's going on.
And that's the difference. Like, I guess just on a DJ Khaled with his shit, the shit that he was saying, that was still personal, because he was talking about his references to his music versus Todd's music. So that was another emotional response to it. Whatever, you know what I mean?
That's why I love that interview from that nigga, man.
Fantano is very Fantano's very
I think he's
logical. I don't think he gets emotionally attached to any of this shit.
And that's why I was like, Isaiah, you should have just kept that shit pushing.
Except for maybe Brockhampton, because
he loves the dick.
Yeah. He be going too crazy for them.
But I can understand why though, and that's why I agree with anybody that takes a shot at Anthony Fantano with the experimental thing is 100% right. But he has given a lot of projects higher than I've thought that has been blah. Like, it'll just be straight lyricism or straight beats or straight. He's really in tune with music. I'm not gonna say that gives him the green light to give whatever he wants, but I cannot say he's not like a voice that's uncultured. That's basically what I'm getting at. You can't say he's uncultured.
See, I don't.
And he gives a very objective critique.
Yeah, and that's why I'm just like, that doesn't give him a black card. I'm not saying that. I'm just saying like, it's not like he's just speaking with no type of, you know. So I like to use the example kind of like when Fashiondemics, not sure if you guys know that, when he was a thing on Instagram, he asked me for clothes, right? And so I sent it to him. I sent him my $3 tees.
You saw that video that I sent you?
No, I didn't actually.
Yeah, he was wearing his shirt in one of his videos on TikTok.
But yeah, so that's actually a great example, and I'm glad he said that. He didn't like it. He asked for my tees to be reviewed on his channel. He was like, yo, send me your cheapest tees. I'm like, all right, bet, I got you. Send him 4 shirts for him to call them trash. Like, oh, this is a regular design on a Gildan tee. You asked for my cheapest product that was being sold for $3. Why use your platform that you know nothing about, by the way? No fashion shit. People liked him because of his name. He's drama for fashion. And I'm for it. You know, spice the game up a little bit. So I'm not hating on bro. I don't really give a fuck. All I'm saying is like, that review versus someone that actually is deep diving. Like, let's say if I set my clothes to, I'm not sure if you guys still watch him, but the casual, the black dude in Japan, and he gave me like I can get that. But it's like, you ask for my cheapest product just to turn around and be like, it's cheap. Well, oh, wow. The fuck you asked for it, you feel me? So it's like, I get both sides. I get both sides of critiquing. I get both sides from being emotional, because I could have had the emotional response. He asks me to this day, like, hey, send me more clothes. But I'm like, no, you're just using your platform to take anybody down to continue to build you up. You feel me? That's different. I don't think Anthony Fantano has those intentions.
I don't get that. That's why I said Isaiah could have just
Yeah.
responded privately via his own camp. Like, I ain't saying the nigga can't feel how you feel. Like, nigga, that's some shit. But you didn't have to respond.
Yeah, I think that, I'm not gonna lie, I think the response kind of made this really, like, now it's
a
almost
thing.
like people are trying to say he's racist now, and like a canceling
And it's
moment
not
could happen.
Yeah, I definitely don't think Fantano is racist.
But his fans are coming
Like-
hard. Like, bro, no, like this, that, and the third. And that's kind of the point that, you know, Isaiah is making. Like, look at all these people you have behind you, giving you, you know what I mean? So, like I said, this conversation can go on for forever.
Yeah.
I think it's kind of just a matter of how you look at what you put out.
At the end of the day, if you're an artist and you don't want your shit, if you don't want to be,
if you don't want to be judged, you can't
then
put
don't
it out.
push it out.
Like, you just
like,
can't.
you have to welcome
Like,
critique and just keep that shit.
You have to be okay with both before you even do anything.
And Corey told me this thing was like forever ago, and I think like it applied so much for me. One thing when you're putting out music, art, whatever, you have to understand that you can't seek validation through anything. After you're doing this shit, you have to put it out there. You feel me? Because there was a lot of times when I was making shit, like if Mars didn't like it, it wasn't good. That's how I thought about it. 'Cause I'm like, that's my go-to. You know, you're my go-to. So if he didn't like it, I feel like it wasn't good enough. But then I'll play it for like a Levi or Corey, like, why you know what I mean? Like, what's going on with this? I'm like, but Mars didn't like it. Like, you know what I mean?
And
but it's
you really have to have some sort of like peace within your own work before you even let anybody hear it.
Yeah,
even your closest people.
Was so far because that nigga said the shit I be saying all the time. That nigga said literally you could put some shit on, like some of the music y'all be like is old shit for me.
Yeah.
Because I'm listening to something completely different than what y'all are listening to. And nigga, you put on shit, y'all listen to the drums, the hi hats. I like Tyler shit. He's like, nigga, do you hear these chord progressions? Like exactly. Yeah. So, like, the shit you may put out, you have to realize, like, yes, it may not be for you, but I don't mean respond just because you know that shit wasn't meant for that nigga, then just keep that shit.
I was only shocked that he responded, not gonna lie. That Isaiah did that, but...
Yeah.
Like I said, all in all, I don't think that project was an L. I don't think anybody we brought up were trying to say they're L's. We're just saying, like, at points...
Except for Chance.
Chance wasn't... Okay, Chance was an L because his project, everything before that was just so great. Okay, so I guess that was an L.
Still shout out to Chance, man.
But at the end of the day, all we're saying is, like, one thing I like to do with artists, and I think is fair, is that we can only compare them to themselves. I'm not going to compare them to nobody else or their contemporaries. That's not fair.
That's the best way to do it.
What I try to compare them to is what was the goal of this coming out?
Yeah, and that's one thing I think we're all missing with The House is Burning.
Yeah.
Unlike everything else, it's not cohesive enough for us to understand the full thing yet, you know? And I think he actually just dropped something else, if I'm not mistaken. I think he might have dropped some tracks on YouTube.
Yeah, he dropped a song.
Oh, he did?
Yeah. Was it the video too?
I forgot what the song was, but...
Yeah.
So he's dropping, bro. He dropped something.
I got confused, though. But I've been thinking of Vince. Vince just dropped another
No,
song.
Isaiah dropped something on YouTube. I can't remember what it was. But to me, after I started, like, watching and seeing how he's moving, I'm like, no, this man is just happy to be... I'm back at it. I'm
happy
working.
to be in a good space.
Yeah,
So at that note, I'd rate it differently than, like, if this nigga was like, yo, it's right after Sons to Ray and Sylvia's demo. Like, after all that shit...
But see... Like I told Mars, kind of like how I go about my clothes and designing, we're rating this off of the artist and everything that he's doing. Fantano's rating just this.
Just that. Yeah. And that is fair. Like, it's fair. Like, I don't think it's unfair to rate it.
Like, you gotta respect with Fantano. I feel like he really rates music in a vacuum.
Yeah.
Like, literally just sitting in a dark room with the music.
And that's what, and I see that from
and
Mars.
just writing notes down, and that's it.
So when you're doing that...
Introduce us from Mars?
Yeah. Transitioning here into another one of our favorites, coming back out of hibernation a little bit.
I'm a little pissed that this is not gonna lie.
Okay, well we'll get into that as soon as I drop it. Frank Ocean debuts a new luxury company. I want to know what the reason why you're pissed, Homer. Just tell us because I feel like I know.
What is it?
I don't want to say. Go ahead.
I think you do know, and it's kind of what we just talked about in a way. Who is this intended for?
Yeah. Cause are you talking about like the pieces?
Everything, yeah.
You saw like how
and this is
cause listen, when it says luxury,
it
legitimately means fucking luxury.
Sure.
Like when I thought luxury, I was like, oh, 200-300. Like
no.
This is bands, bro.
There's a necklace.
Like there's a mill, right?
Yeah, $1.9 million necklace.
So I'm like and
don't get me wrong, that's the shit.
Black, I love it. Black owned everything. He's doing his own thing. But I'm just like, damn, right off the bat, can I get a little warm up?
The baseline. Can you scroll down, Levi? Because I think the baseline is $300. Hold on. Some Homer's pendants and scarves can be had for under $1,000.
$300, bro. I think the scarves are this cheap as shit.
Yeah. So scarves for $300. Then there's a sphere. Legs, hide, jewelry. This shit right here.
Which one?
This fucking $1.89 million.
Oh, that one?
And the thing is,
now it's definitely worth $1.89 million. Like
whatever Frank touches worth whatever.
It's a whole bunch of fucking crazy ass diamonds.
Tell me you touched it.
I get it. But like, and that's another thing. Like when you look at.
No, did you see the quote? I didn't want our work to be any less expensive than Cartier.
So hear me out. This is where I was going with this. So me being my cheap self, I said, come on, Frank. Everybody wants to buy your shit. Why would you do this? And then I stepped back and thought about it. The same thing I told y'all about Kanye and Rihanna. They would not be taken seriously with their contemporaries if he would have came out and gave us $100 shit, $200 shit, $300. And like Corey just read the quote, he wants to be a real, legitimate, luxurious brand. He wants to make a statement. You feel me? And we may not agree with the prices, but I don't think it's over for his fashion career, and I do believe he'll do other things. So it's like, I'm mad at it because it's like, bro, you haven't been out in like forever, and you do, and then I was like, not even a song attached, like a ad or something. Yeah,
I mean, but this goes, and speaking of music, before I even go into that, did you listen to the project that he has on the webpage? So 454 for real. I feel like I don't know how that got on there specifically, but when I listen to there's a song on there late night. Me and Corey both listen to it. I feel like either Frank is involved in some kind of way with the 454 dude who has like it's like on MySpace.
Yeah,
He
yeah.
had the playlist on the side and shit.
Yeah.
Or he just kind of saw kind of like the same kind of sound that he was, because it sounds late night kind of reminds me a lot about damn, what's that song? No, well, a little bit of In My Room, but more like a Cayendo.
Oh, you're talking about that didn't actually come out, but yeah.
You know how he was kind of going for that like very hip like dance sound almost, like that's how kind of late night sounds, but in a more like rappy kind of sense. So and then the I looked into the 454 dude, and he's on like this. I guess you would call it a label like Honeymoon with Honor the North, who was on Tyler's last album, not Igor, but the album before that, Flower Boy. And then like Reggie Snow, and then there's 454, and then there's like one other person. So I'm not sure that if Frank is involved with that at all, like where he's like positioning himself, but I just wanted to drop that tidbit about like the music.
Emotionally, I'm pissed as well because I know I'm not buying nothing.
See,
From an artist perspective, though, genius.
And that's the
Like,
thing.
from
We're
a
going back
business-
to the same conversation as far as like who is this intended for,
and
what was the artist's intention
And
of dropping this.
The reason why I'm saying like I'm mad is because Frank is someone that I think we all value so much when he does something, because we know it's not going to be too much of it. So we just want a piece. Like even if it's like a shirt, or if it's like we want to be like, yeah, we got this from Frank,
Yeah.
And so that's where our kind of frustration.
Magazine. You can enter your email.
Your
address, get the magazine.
on the way to my
All
house.
right,
Yeah.
I'm gonna do that.
Same.
Thanks,
To
Frank.
all of my cribs.
All of my cribs.
I'll definitely
The
do
one in New
that.
York, the one here, my mother's house. I sent one to every. It said one per household.
Yeah.
All of
yeah.
my
I'll
houses.
do that. Thank you. But I just hope a little bit later some price points come
And that's
out
what I
with
think
us.
is gonna happen. Because like we saw that shit with Yeezy. Like
Yeah.
it
That's
takes
what I'm
time.
saying. It takes time.
Takes
It does.
time.
It
Like
does.
for them to.
Yeah.
Because you got to remember, like the gatekeep now. I think with this, like the fact he had to do this with Prada, and you got to think about how much money is in the jewelry game on its own.
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
Nigga, you had to do this shit and like get collaborate. Like that shit took power, resources, everything, and you still
So-
did that.
This is what I want to cut you off with. I want to ask you guys. To me, this speaks volumes, or I don't even think that's the right word. It just speaks so much because to me, this is indie, luxurious jewelry. This is literally like the weird kids, as people would say, wearing expensive jewelry. Do you think this will age well? Because I think this doesn't get enough like breaking news as if like Off-White like just got sold to Louis Vuitton and shit in Virgil, but it should, because you have to think about it. This is Frank Ocean, a person that hasn't really came out bisexuality, but we can say a sexual man that is making jewelry. And as you can see by the designs, this is not just regular shit. It's very colorful, very kiddish in a way. It's nostalgic. I think is the best word to use. So like, to me, this is his own golf wing, essentially. This is his own golf Lafleur. And if it was to get to the Louis Vuitton realm, which I think it will and it can, I think it speaks volumes. I think it should really be more breaking news, because it's like, is rappers going to flex this now? Is my next favorite indie artist going to flex this? Is it going to be a bar to flex about? And that's going to be amazing. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And so I think it really speaks like volumes. And like I said, like Corey was saying too, is like, we got to give him a little chance to, get his feet in the door so it can be a little bit cheaper. But
just like the Kanye thing was a great point, because when we think about when Yeezy
Like,
clothes
he got
first
killed
started,
for that shit.
there was no way niggas was affording any of that
Yeah.
stuff.
No.
But now, Yeezy shoes,
Yeah,
come
yeah.
on, man, everybody can have a pair.
Yeah.
If you want a pair of Yeezy sneakers, you got them.
Yeah.
Simple as that.
You may not get your exact ones you want sometimes, but you can get a pair of
And now,
Yeezy
like,
shoes.
and even Kanye's still doing it, because like even the clothes are still hard to get.
He just
but
did
now,
a re-release of like some old pairs from like years ago.
Yeah, and then
Yeah.
even fucking which is on the side, the Yeezy Gap jacket. It's
Yeah.
a pre-order, but you got it.
Yeah, yeah.
You got
And
it.
it wasn't
It's
like
all-
that was like one of the quickest. We was texting about it
Yeah.
that
And
night.
that-
I was like, bro, I didn't wait nothing to even get to the. I was thinking I was gonna have to. I was like, damn, it's
so you got the
young
jacket?
after the performance.
So
I'm
I'm
like,
like get into the pre-order.
yeah, get into the pre-order. Normally
okay.
you waiting for shit. Like I
Yeah,
waited for
yeah.
the high museum tickets longer than I waited for the Yeezy.
Yeah.
shit.
Yeah.
But I'm saying, did you get the jacket?
No, I
He
didn't.
had
I
a
didn't.
dub.
I didn't
Gotcha,
get
gotcha,
it.
gotcha.
To me,
Yes.
it's a nice jacket. You gotta know yourself.
I'm not gonna lie, I agree with that. I agree with that.
Yeah.
That's why I haven't bought it. Cause I'm waiting to see all the people that buy. I'm like, bro, you've only
I like the
seen,
black one though.
You've only seen Kanye, but I gotta see more bodies in it. I've only seen
Yeah.
Kanye's like figure in
when
it.
Bo had it on, I was like, ah.
But
Pocket, zipper,
Like it's like when I walk through the city, is that shit gonna go like?
I agree with the feeling it too, but I can't go off of Boat because I feel like Boat was big on purpose. Like that shit was huge. So
Yeah.
But that's how I would probably like to get mine.
okay.
Cause like to me, it's like a little rounded on the corner, so you know that shit. You don't want to wear the little, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
a little off to the side. It's not one of them nice fitted, like.
But yeah, going back to Frank, like I said,
That shit
and
fire.
like
this
with-
is no like
Yeah,
oh
the
my
shit
god,
was
like,
great.
we don't like it or nothing. All I'm saying is like, damn, I wish that we could find out some way to like
it's
put out things that's affordable that you can still be taken seriously.
it's just hard, especially when you're coming from a place of as a person of color, especially as a bisexual
Exactly.
man of color. Like it's always gonna have to be a trickle down. You can't start where you want for everybody to have something. You have to start high and then kind of
Same thing with
Nah,
Rihanna,
he
bro.
the
kind
gatekeeper.
of yeah.
How old is Louis Vuitton? Do you know?
Older than me.
all
All
of
of us,
us.
all of our ages combined, still older.
Yeah. And it's just like that's just how it is right now. But I feel like shit like that, those trickle downs can set up for people to be able to
Oh yeah, but the
come
fact,
in and
like
do
kind of
things
of course, the fact that he
for
started
our
off,
kids type shit.
the fact that he started off with that collab with Prada just lets you know that like it's that big, you know, and the fact
Yeah,
that
that's huge.
Prada is like co-signing it, it's that big. So sky's the limit. He can fuck around
And
and
he had
start
to
dropping
do,
free.
he had to, if he did it on his own,
167
I don't think it would have not been
years
successful. I think it
for
would
how
have
old
been
Louis
successful.
Vuitton is.
So where is this
108 years for how old Prada is.
Where is Frank Ocean gonna be?
100 years
exactly.
from down the line.
Like where Homer's gonna be in, you know.
Yeah, I'm interested to see the future, man.
And that's really like the thing. Like when you think about Yeezy and when you
It
think
has to start
about
somewhere.
Homer and you think about Tyler shit and you think about all these niggas, we are seeing them in their infancy. Like literally their infancy. And we're kind of like they're kind of having to compete with like a Prada and a Louis, and these niggas are decades in. They have experience,
more
they
than
have
that.
time, they have all of that. Like yeah, century in. Yeah, like they are well established.
Yeah, I
you
thought
know,
this, I thought
and-
this would have broke more. I'm not gonna lie, but I think it's because it's like, you know, the kind of Frank effect where if it's not music, it doesn't really matter. But I thought
Yeah, that-
when
that
I
part.
looked
That's
at
the
everything,
gatekeeping, though.
when I looked at everything and took it in, I'm like, bro, this is huge. Like this is really fucking huge. And I feel like Tyler Creator kind of gets that too when he drops his golf pieces and shit. It's like they do numbers. He does
And his
numbers,
pieces are slap.
and then no one
Yeah,
talks about it.
it's hard.
because it's like, oh, he's doing close on the
But
side.
I feel like that was kind of like the gatekeeping effect. Like
It's
just
kind
the
of like
outlets
a
who were
it's kinda
nobody
like a
geeks out
reversible
over. Yeah,
gatekeep in a sense, because like,
It's like, okay,
oh,
we
you're not
peep
doing
that.
music, oh, whatever.
But I think he
Like-
said it was bro that he was talking to the radio he was
Oh,
on.
Ebro.
Yeah, I think he said he was just like the people that used to do stuff like that because there was a lot. You know,
They stopped
MySpace
losing money.
days, yeah, exactly.
They stopped
Facebook days,
losing-
early Facebook days. There's a lot of platforms that can help you, you know, get to a new level, but they don't have no funding. Like
Shit,
it's
that's
just-
how brands like Acronym
yeah.
was founded on like those smaller platforms.
You gotta think
but,
about
like
even,
really
like-
niche, nuanced platforms.
You gotta think about like Karma Loop and shit like that back in the day. Like,
Facts.
bro,
Oh shit,
like,
Karma
facts.
Loop.
like I'm using them for an example because although it wasn't a magazine, they had their small niche that kind of just grew bigger.
Yeah.
you know.
There'll be
So-
brands like, yeah, you may go in there and want you like a Diamond Supply 100s,
Yeah.
Stussy, but like you may go in here and you like, yo, what is this brand right? Yo, this is dope. Like,
Yeah,
and now you got a new affinity for
When
it.
you really think about like Karma Loop was what Instagram is now as far as like finding clothes.
Yeah.
Like you would go on there and I just
Search.
remember I would just see brands that I had never ever heard
Never
of.
But you fuck with.
Hundreds of them. And be
even-
like, oh, I
well,
gotta
remember-
cop this,
what was
that,
it? It was CSS or CCS?
CCS, yeah.
They were good at that.
Yeah.
They were good with the
Yeah.
magazines and kind of updating and
Yeah,
emails.
but see, even with them, they were specific to skateboarding.
Yeah, they were.
Karma Loop was literally like everything,
Yeah.
like literally everything. Like, just
Literally.
imagine if Karma Loop was around today. You
Yeah.
know, like
But
we would
lost
have
money.
like some shit like Half Evils and probably like Super Radical and
Yep.
Yeah,
like
they would be all on there.
these different types of brands would be on Karma Loop.
Yeah.
like as a marketplace.
Yep.
You know what I mean? Like it would be all in one spot, and that's like. It's crazy to see how shit has changed.
Nah, for real.
Like for real.
But shout out to Frank on this, man.
Yeah,
this is
Frank
really,
Snap. Frank Snap.
Excuse me,
And
this is really huge. Like,
I'm gonna try to
huge.
save up for a scarf. I'm gonna try to save up for a scarf. As long as that shit is
shit
like a big scarf, not if it's one of them little tiny shits. I'm not doing it.
I'm not a scarf boy yet, but fuck it. I mean, Once a firm
'Cause
is
that
on that
scarf
bitch, you
looks
got
hard.
me. Fuck it.
Once
The
what?
fact she has
Affirm,
actually
fuck it.
stored.
Affirm?
Yeah, nigga. Okay,
Afterpay.
Afterpay, all that
Klarna.
shit.
Yeah.
Fuck.
Once he
All
had
them
it-
shits.
when I saw he had the store, that's what got me excited. I'm like,
Yeah.
bro, you
Yeah.
actually
Yeah.
put it in a physical,
Yeah.
like
Yeah.
that nigga. That is so big.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah, that's huge.
Like nigga, what?
To-
like no,
to
not just a
think about-
retail. Like
and think about
pop-up,
it,
like,
putting it in the store off the bat, off the jump,
In New York.
like before you even sold a
that's why I
goddamn
say he's
thing. Like,
him and Tyler. Like in this interview, I keep going back to his interview because I don't know. Like Tyler was
What-
speaking back on like how he grew up, and he was like, my mom basically made
go
me a
back and find the
business
address for
owner.
me, Levi. Go back and find the address for me,
The store?
Levi.
Oh,
Yeah,
it's
it's
like
down at the
70
bottom. It's
It's
down
off
at the bottom.
Bowery.
Yeah.
It's off Bowery.
On fucking Bowery.
Yeah.
That's where all the hot shit is. Like,
Literally.
No,
like
it's
that's nuts, bro.
And it's,
That's
it's
an
appointment only, I
accomplishment.
think.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's only appointment, but you
Yeah.
that's get an appointment. Maybe in September, October by now. But like,
Yeah, it's fire. That, like I said, bro, this should have been bigger news if you asked me.
Yeah.
but they not
That
gonna
shit's
pipe
wild.
up the business aspect. That's why like Riri, Ye, Frank, Tyler, like them niggas.
Like you only go
Jay.
get piped up like that when you do some shit like Rihanna and become a billionaire.
Yeah, but like
that's-
now she's
and
popping
that's
because she
lame,
been
but
doing that
still.
shit. Like she been doing like
It's
when did
been
Fenty?
building.
When did she launch Fenty?
It's been at least 5 years now.
Exactly.
5, 6, maybe. a
I
little
give
bit
this 5 years. I don't even give this 5.
Maybe a little bit longer because you know when they launch it and then they actually start using
Yeah.
it, so it could be longer.
So it could have been longer, but like if you just notice, like boom, they
Look
drop
up
their product,
when Fenty start.
drop a business. Riri ain't make music.
We really have to like revisit like all these upstart like black brands like when our kids are around. You know what I mean?
Exactly.
Like, cause then we're gonna
crazy.
really see like what this shit is really doing and like how
20
it's moving towards.
2017,
So that was
but of
Fenty.
course she had to work on it years for development, get the
Hey,
product.
that was Fenty Beauty.
Oh, that was Fenty Beauty. Yeah, that's
Yeah.
not even Fenty.
Yeah.
How old
No,
is
no, we go for Fenty Beauty. That was 2017.
Puma Fenty? Do Puma Fenty because that was the first thing. 2017. Why did I say 7 years?
I think that might be around the same time.
Yeah.
I
Puma
think,
Fenty
I think,
was a little bit
I think
before.
Fenty Puma was like 2016ish area, like so it might or maybe a little bit earlier, but I think it's about the same time. So I'm gonna give it like 5-6 years roughly.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah, so yeah.
interesting.
So yeah, 7 years. 7 years was accurate,
And
was it
she-
not?
Yeah.
It was 7 years, right?
Yeah,
Well, so-
yeah.
So
I
think
all,
shit like
all the
that is
niggas are
crazy.
doing
I think even
Such
Travis,
different things.
like,
I
hate it or love it.
I'm not hopping in that one.
Yeah.
Nah, I'm
And-
saying in
and-
terms of like these musicians are using.
We can use that to transition though to this A24 thing.
Yeah, like
yeah.
musicians are transitioning from like they're using bit like they're like now niggas are learning the business. Like they're like, all right, bet. Like I know what my money and my fame can do.
he's smart as fuck for this. Have you looked into it? Or
Yeah,
seen it
yeah,
before?
yeah.
For the fact that like, which I think we've noticed, especially like us over here. I'm not sure if you keep up with too much film, Levi, but A24 has been like gathering hype year by year. Like it's cool to mention A24.
Oh yeah.
Like
for
you
sure,
seen the
for
A24
sure.
film? You seen the A24? So he's like whoever. I'm just gonna give him the credit for it, but whoever thought of the partnership collaboration is genius because now A24 is about to have a whole new hype that also comes with fucking merch. Well, I know it's coming, so it's
Yeah.
like
anybody who's into any kind of like film, not movies, because you know niggas who's into film always gotta say film.
Yeah.
Like anybody who's into film, it's A24 for them.
Yeah.
Like it's it's A24 for me. It's A24 for you. It's
Yeah.
A24 for you.
I
So
think my
name
thing
it's like
fucking genius.
this is.
Blumhouse.
It don't even.
Yeah.
I want it to be like great as a person who loves film, but even if this isn't great, this is gonna be impactful
Monumental.
Yeah.
beyond measure. You
I
know
think
what
it's
I mean?
bigger for Travis than it is for A24.
oh hell no, it's
Yeah, I
bigger
don't
for
think so.
A24 than oh my god.
I think it's bigger, but in different directions. It's bigger for A24 as far as like hype and popularity goes. It's bigger for Travis in
If
the
it
sense
goes
that we're
well.
looking at him like, oh shit, like this
The
is
reason
this
why
is some
I
film
could,
shit.
and I could agree with that. The reason why I say it's bigger for Travis than it is for A24 because I feel like why they like how we just talked about really nuanced things. Like we like them because they don't give a fuck about the shit. And I really want to. And this is something I don't have the information on. I want to know how the fuck like them being a production house to produce the films that they produced. The resources, like who is funding y'all to allow y'all, like there's a A2, like I'm sure y'all seen the movie, like how to make an A24 film. And it's like fucking funny as fuck. But like, yo, they've been able to continually do it. They're getting paid.
Yeah.
Like, where did that money come from? Like, even if you look at like a Blumhouse, you have to take these.
I mean,
But see, with this, now you're gonna have A24, and it's just gonna put them in a different light
Because
like a completely different.
I think
light.
their public perception is going to get like they're taking L wide in public exception.
But the thing is, they'll get that wider public perception without having to change what they do.
Oh,
and the reason why I'm saying I think it's bigger for A24, like, okay, so if it's successful, Travis now gathers another light underneath him or another check mark, like, okay, I made a great fucking film, check, so that's good. But to me, influence-wise, Travis checks off that mark because now regardless, win or lose, now it's going to be acceptable for a rapper, model, whatever, to collab with the production company. So that's why I think A24 or I keep saying A24, A24 like wins it all because it's like not only are we saying, hey, we're open to collabing with a fucking great artist, millennials for like, I mean not millennials, but everybody looks up to him, So it's like now from this point on, Blumhouse might do something. Fucking other production companies might come out the woodworks. Ariana Grande times this. Lil Wayne times this. Like, it's going to be crazy because the trickle-down effect already happened with his merch, with the McDonald's, with this and the third. Who else has a McDonald's collab?
Sweetie. No.
Sweetie and what's it, Bad Bunny too,
J
right?
Balvin.
Oh,
J Balvin.
J Balvin. Yeah.
They both did?
I think they did.
Oh, okay. I know J Balvin did.
I'm going to confirm on J Balvin. I don't know about Bad Bunny. We might be a little racist for saying that. But anyways, I just think the trickle-down effect for A24 co-signing this, huh?
You said he.
Yeah.
That nigga said it.
The A24 trickle-down effect will be crazy, is all I'm saying. Like,
Yeah.
shit, Rihanna might do a collab. You know what I mean? Like, because we were seeing, like, the Amazon Primes and the Netflixes, like, here's a movie or here's an episode. But no, this is literally A24 times Travis Scott. Like, that's crazy.
By the way, that's not Bad Bunny. That's J Balvin in those pictures. Yeah. That's definitely not Bad Bunny.
Don't try to use a cop-out, nigga. That's
Do
you.
y'all feel like it's collab heavy right now?
I mean,
I think it's money-centric. Like, what's bruh name that, I think you sent me on TikTok, or am I sending it to you? The dude that, like, owned, like, so many movie production companies that left. Damn, I can't remember his name. But basically, this white dude, of course, owns, like, so many movies and stuff, so he left. Like, he just left the company. I'm pretty sure he still makes money off of them. But he left because he was saying, like, movies isn't it. He left, like, 5 or 6 years ago, maybe longer than that. Say movies has been dying. They're not giving you movies. They're just slapping people in it and then calling it streaming as well. You're just watching a good-looking picture, essentially. Mm-hmm. But there's no concept. There's no nothing. Everything is just, like, kind of, I think what Corey's getting at, just saturated just to make money. Mm-hmm. There's no, like, let's make cinema. I guess, I think it goes from, like, movies to film to cinema. You start using the word cinema now, you're like a master degree.
Yeah. I haven't got the cinema yet. I haven't got the cinema yet.
Cinema.
I'm on my way, but I ain't got the cinema yet.
So,
I'm a cinematographer.
Yeah, exactly. I think that's what Corey was getting at, which I would like to bring up as well. And we kind of talked about it with the whole collab thing. I love it because I love the era of it. I don't like certain collabs, and I feel like it is kind of clickbaity, money hungry. But I like the era of it because to me, there's gonna be a lot of people like us that will be able to feed off of that. Like, it's not gonna be unheard of if, like, kind of like you just showed me Dominic Fike being in Euphoria.
Yeah.
Like, that's not, they're breaking doors down for that shit not to be unheard of anymore. Kanye had to wear those pink polos, baggy pants, Air Forces, a bape, all that shit for now Travis's to be able to do shit like this, to collab with Louis Vuitton, for Off-White, and, for Virgil to do all this things. So I love where it's going. Like I said, I don't like all the product from it, but I like where it's going because I think it opens up a lot of doors.
I can understand.
Yeah.
Like, you're more so happy that it happened.
Yeah.
Not necessarily like what's coming out of it.
And usually when the door opens, you're not happy about what first comes in.
Yeah.
It usually takes a little while before, like, the real good shit starts to trickle in.
Yeah.
To me, I guess that's why I get excited because, like, like, for me, I'd be like, damn, everything to me.
This shit sent me over the moon.
Yeah, this sent me over the moon. But then, like,
This nigga Mars was like, he can't. What'd you say? He can't
he
do no wrong.
he can't do nothing wrong.
He
That's
can't.
what
He
I'm
can't.
saying.
He
He's
can't
goated.
do no
Like
wrong.
I said, he's goated, but like Mars, like, he's
this
always
fucking
goated.
A24 Utopia film could come out absolutely trash. Merch could be absolutely trash, and I still got to give him credit for it.
I would love to see more nuanced.
I hope it's not, of course, but
And that's
it
my
could.
word for the podcast today. Nuanced collaborations. Like, I want to see more. Because right now, I'm like, I get it. Like, musicians have one of the biggest influences over everything.
Yeah.
But I'm just like, there are so many. I would love to see, like, now the door is open. I want to see more interesting collaborations to branch out into different worlds.
This lets me. I feel like at this point I've always won, but this also adds to the point. I brought it up on the pod, I think, as well, podcast. I used to argue this with Dre and, like, that group of friends a lot. He goes, like, Luke type of nigga take influence over money, and to me this shows me why. Like I just feel like, bro, these niggas are literally, you know, Travis is a musician, so this is a little different. So he has the influence and money, but I don't think it's unheard of now if Mars gets a little buzz, get a little 20, 30K on Instagram just off making videos. His influence will allow him to be open to this door now. Like Too Many Ideas X A24, and it's like, who is this random guy? But to us, he may be random, but his influence, he has a lot of influence into the film industry. So we're gonna have to work with him, you know. And I personally, it's scary because you know it's just influence. So if influence is kind of going over money and going over everything, you know, going back to Anthony Fantano because he has that much influence. So it's scary in ways, but to me, it lets me know like even if you work hard enough or don't work hard enough or not as clouded as you want to be or not as popular, if your influence is there, if you're in where you want to be at and you're working at that, to me it gives me hope.
Open.
Yeah, it gives me hope that you can still get there.
I mean, we was talking about that at brunch, like a good homie, and we was chatting about like it's never really like even this. I give the credit to the name, the brand Travis Scott, but really the credit go to the niggas behind the door for Travis. Like his team, them niggas is the niggas where it's like we're in the rooms where Travis isn't, and like his team, like you really need a team to be like,
I put that hands down. He's the best team I've ever seen.
Yeah, like them niggas, whoever's like, we're really great.
Who they are. I can't wait to.
Whatever documentary.
Yeah,
really
I can't wait
out.
to hear the documentary and see who was involved with the behind the Travis shit.
Like
I know
even
you got
like Ye's team, like and Frank's team, like they have great teams who are open to that. Because like literally, I'm pretty sure Travis is not like. He may have said, like, yo, I want to do something with A24, but I'm pretty sure somebody in there was like, you want to do that for real? Like, I'm really good friends with the art director
and really, like,
and I'm really good people here.
Yeah.
Like, yo, and I'm really good here. Yo, you should really look into, like, this really specific people.
Keep it on it and, you know,
exactly.
Like, expanding the idea.
Expanding it because his team is people that are, like, open to it, and he's not, like, staying in this box. So, like, the teams behind this is, like, I give them credit. It's always the niggas behind the door that be doing that shit.
Like, don't get me wrong. I think Travis would have came out with a film regardless. But like I said, like kind of like what you're saying is the fact that it's A24. Like that gives you a sense of saying like Travis understands the culture or at least someone that he's talking to
understands film culture.
Yeah,
like not just like
because like
I don't know.
Because when shit be happening like for real and just like the older I'm getting, I'm just like worlds are mixing now. Like everything's mixy. And there's like some of the good shit when things are mixy. Like your lawyer could be in the same room like the art director. Yeah. And like you're like, wait, you're the lawyer for Travis? And you're really fucking cool. And like, wait, you're the art director for 824? Yo, why don't we get both of our teams together and do some shit?
Like I was telling Corey, and this to me is basically what we're saying. I was telling Corey, I texted him the other night about like the set that I'm dropping, right? It's called A Growing Whisper. And I was like, I made my first set, which was the Echo set, and the Echo was like so loud that now people understand who I am and what I've been doing and so forth and so forth. Keeping it brief. And now A Growing Whisper is like, I feel like now I've been put in a lane or a box that you can expect something from me. It's not like I'm the biggest thing ever, but there's some buzz there, you know? And I was telling Corey about how his career and how that, you know, correlates to the two. And that's to me what I'm seeing here. Is like there's something there, influence, that we would like to expand on. And I feel like this one, like I said, I like what's going on. I may not like the product from it, but to me, what I'm like correlating here is this is the growing whisper. It's like there's something continuing to grow here that is going to be good. And kind of like what Mars said, the first 2, 3 may be a little rocky, the growing whisper, but that final product, once everybody starts catching on, they're going to be great. Now and then you have the problem with saturation, and now is it film anymore? Is it real? That's all a different topic. But
it's really a cycle.
Once that door gets open and the whisper goes on and it gets to be, you know, a real final product, it's going to be great. I don't think this is Travis's last film. I do think he's one person, I can say that for sure, that takes criticism and shoots to the moon with it and tries to do his best. So I believe good, bad, fail, whatever, that he will come back even better.
Yeah.
I just love to see some new type of outside of music. This is just me having to say that. Like, just give me some more collabs that are outside of like a musician.
Yeah, this and Travis.
Yeah, like Frank with the
like that to me was so exciting because I'm like, nigga, like that's fire. Like that was fire. That turned me on. Like dead ass. Like that shit is fire.
I feel that. Like that. How you think of that's how I look like, you know, Travis when he features like random artists, or Kanye when he features random artists, and Tyler when he does shit like that. You're just like, damn, bro. Like, I don't think did I tell the story on the podcast yet. So this is like the most inspirational story for me for the year. It has nothing to really do with me, but still. So Law of Averages, correct? But for Vince.
Oh yeah,
That was sampled by a SoundCloud artist.
Yeah,
with
yeah,
like
that story.
with like 25 plays, bro. That shit inspires me. I'm like, that is fucking phenomenal, bro. Like that just lets you know. Of course, that was Kenny Beats. So, but
Yeah.
like it just lets you know that people do listen, bro, and that door will always be open once you continue to strive for it. Like that was just fire to me.
Like what these
Exactly.
musicians, what I'm loving that these musicians are doing, which is like why I like Travis, why I like Frank, why I like Ye, like they're using their platforms to plug in these different people. Because what the brands, what I hate is like the brands aren't going to be thinking about that. So it's on the role of the artist to bring, like to really pass the baton to the next artist to be like, yo, let me get because the brands are literally thinking about the money, but the artist is thinking about the influence.
And I wanted to use that kind of like as a transition to our Donna topic because something that I found out, I'm not sure if y'all know about this, about Donda and Ye. This was on the Yachty song. Jay Ruga. Do y'all know who Jay Ruga is?
Well, I know him now, but yeah.
You know him now. Do you know who he is?
I'm thinking of Jay Ruga, but
Jay Ruga.
Jay Ruga, no.
Yeah. So Jay Ruga is a Chicago rapper. He is you know how Chicago beef and all that kind of stuff. So we had Dirk, and then you had this dude named FBG Duck, and they was beefing a lot. And FBG Duck got killed. You know, what's the
You had it
word?
right the first time.
What's
Just
the
type
word?
in Chicago
Allegedly.
rapper. Type in Chicago rap in.
JheRoog. Yeah, there you go.
Continue.
Lost my
They were
train of
beefing.
thought. Oh yeah. So allegedly, I want no parts of this.
Yeah.
I'm not involved in this in any kind of way. But allegedly, it had to do with Dirk's side, and it was always like dissing back and forth with each other. But then we all know Dirk is on the album. Yeah. Then Jay Ruga ends up on the album, and it's kind of like that. It kind of ties into putting smaller artists in positions, but not only that, but kind of like orchestrating a better, what would the word be? A better environment. Yeah, that's a good word, between, you know, these two rival Chicago gangs. And that's kind of like what I felt like and it could go both ways. Kanye could have just asked the nigga to be on the album, not having, you know. But I feel like it makes more sense that he asked him to be on the album after having kind of like a conversation with Dirk or trying to like bring it all together.
Yeah, it's kind of a ripple effect.
Yeah, because even if you listen to one of Jay Ruga's recent songs after FBG Duck died, I think it is For Duck, where he was kind of like, he was talking about trying to be more... better, you know, try to like stop like the killing the beast because so many people had died.
Kanye would never get credit for this. I never understand why. There's not been one artist Kanye's worked it. Okay, I can name one or two, but just not talking about that. Most artists that Kanye has worked with, regardless if you want to say he used them and then let them do their own thing or whatever, he's not supposed to save everybody. He can only help. Has changed drastically. Dirk's feature on the Untitled song. A week or two later now, Dirk is not bringing up the dead. He's not going to speak about the dead. He's not going to perform or talk about them no more. Is that credit to Kanye? I'm not too sure, but I do think conversations may have happened.
Yeah,
That's what I'm
saying. Like, for me, there's no way that this guy ends up on this album if there wasn't a conversation that happened between him and Kanye and Dirk, or Kanye to him, then Kanye to Dirk. Yeah. Like, there's no way that the beef was too real. Like, in the streets, too real. Like, for them to not have had that conversation, and that's important. Like,
and that's why
on Kanye's part.
That's the main reason why I like Donda, because it's like I'm seeing the ripple effect and I'm loving it. Lancey's faux little preview he did on Instagram, fucking beautiful. It literally sounded like he was like, "All right, Kanye, I got it." Like, you feel me? Yeah. And made like more of a modern, of course, more Lancey faux-ish of a Kanye type thing. And then like 070 Shake, like everyone loves her now.
Yeah.
Post.
He didn't believe me that I said that was.
No, it's not. Wait, which one? It's not.
It wasn't her.
It wasn't her.
The high pitched voice. It wasn't her.
It wasn't her.
I told you it wasn't her. She's on another song. You hear her on another song.
Yeah. But I don't know.
You ain't know who none of them niggas were. I had to tell you every time.
All right. It was loud, and I was tired.
But
I know a few.
I think the ripple effect from Kanye, which could probably happen with a few other artists, because Tyler Creator was talking about who his OGs are too. So the ripple effect is not just Kanye. I'm not going to say that, but I'm just able to see it more because their music changes drastically. And I liked 070's music beforehand, and I like it now. I would like more of a mix between the two, but we'll see what's next. I'm just using what you just said to bring up the fact that like I feel like Donda's effect if it ever releases or when it releases, will be bigger amongst the artists that were actually on it versus the effect that I think it will have on us, like as a viewer, as a listener.
Agreed.
Because I think Dirk's music probably not going to change from the topics that he's talking about, but as a person, as we can clearly see, it's changing. As this is changing. Now there's other things I know Kanye's not really good for, so we'll see about the Drake situation, how that plays out. But
So what? Who just sent that?
Nope, no one in here. No one in here.
No one in
We're
here?
not bringing that up. No.
Oh, about him being on the song?
Yeah, no.
Oh, okay. Oh.
But something I just thought about, I'm like, damn. I feel like Ye is like, I see why it's a mix. We're like, yo, you either love or hate Kanye's music at this point. Like, you're like, but you respect him because his music is now a platform. Like, it's no more like,
it
it's
is.
just music.
Yeah.
Like, it's his, like, Donda was literally like, it's a platform for new music. Like, that's literally it. And like, somebody was arguing with me last night. It was like, when Kanye makes music, I know I'm gonna get something new. She was like, it doesn't mean it's gonna be good or bad. It's just going to be something new, and I appreciate that because his music is now a platform. Like, of itself, it is a platform. If Ye drops an album or drops a song, it's a platform. It may be some different shit. Like, what was the track he had with damn, I don't even want to go because I'm a butcher the name. But like any songs that he normally puts out, it's a platform for a new sound, a new collaboration.
I
like he's
agree.
almost like he's a media source at this point. Like,
Yeah, I think like I said, I think Donda's the most feature
for sure.
album that where each artist gave their motherfucking best.
Yeah.
Dark Twisted Fantasy,
literally.
of course, is a hard contender, but I think there was kind of like more songs, more structures, where it's kind of like they did great. Don't get me wrong, but I feel like hearing Dirk on Untitled, amazing. Hearing Favi, what the fuck?
Listen, bro. How this is the only place where you will have a nigga who says, "Listen, I'm gonna give you 64 bars. Just go." 2 minutes on that song he was rapping, bro. 2 minutes,
And that's why I
and
say
he
that.
just went
Crazy.
and gave his best verse of his life,
we talked about
bro.
that on the hike, and I was talking about like I was really happy that he put Roddy on that project,
Yeah.
considering all the shit he went throughout the whole year. 'Cause,
Yeah.
like Roddy had great music, everybody knew that.
And
But,
Roddy
like,
shined
boom.
in such a different way,
And
and
it's different.
that's the one thing that you can always like count on Ye for.
Like, I'm gonna give you this platform to really exhibit your artistic capabilities.
And it's like it's
Literally,
kind
that
of
was,
like
the best way
a
to say it.
it's kind of like a give and take, because when you get that, you have to kind of take away his own like contributions
Yeah.
to the album as far as
That's the only
like
thing I didn't
his
like.
voice, his raps, his
Yeah.
bars, his everything. It might not be that same kind of like level, but boy, do you get these other niggas that are going crazy on some shit you will never hear him go crazy like that
But
on.
I think
Again,
I think he's okay with that because I
He
think
is.
like
I mean,
he
it's
did
his
Dark
choice.
Twisted
It's
Fantasy,
his
and I think
choice.
after that was like his way of
and
saying like, yo,
that's why you can't really like be mad.
I
Like
mean-
I feel like Yeezus was the last album where he said like, yeah, this is me and I'm going on my shit kind of
Yeah.
thing.
So that's
Like
why
a lot.
I feel like Life of Pablo was a mix,
I think-
a little bit, but
It was a
I think
mix.
DJ said it when I was cutting me my hair, and I was like,
Shouts out to DJ. He'll love to hear this on this podcast.
yeah, fire. Shout out to him. He said it, and I had already said it to you and you guys in a private conversation. That's why I would not be shocked if this is one, if not second to last solo project from Kanye, because I'm getting the gist now where he's like, he's always been an orchestrator, always. But I'm getting the gist where it's like, hey, I want to tell my story through the music of today. Not by music of today, the feature and the approaches, but I'm still gonna have my twist on it forever. But I just feel like it's coming together as in like, this is everything, guys. This is. Go ahead.
This is important. Did you hear the first Yeezy Sound artist?
Easy sound.
Yeezy Sound
No.
artist.
Oh, yeah.
Look it up for me, Levi. There's a album that just dropped. It was this past Friday.
No.
Completely
Yeah.
produced by Kanye,
Yeah.
and that's Yeezy Sound.
Oh, that's underneath Easy Sound.
Yeah.
Okay.
Mhm.
Yeah. I didn't listen to the whole thing yet. I know what you're talking
It's
about.
he's about to pull it up. Levi's about to pull it up. Yeezy Sound artist. It doesn't sound like anything.
I got the tweet. I can pull it up. Hold on.
Abstract Mind State. There it is. It says it right there. Yeah, they're I guess a group, two people
Yeah.
or a duo, and it's weird because they're not a new duo. Like they just haven't released music in over like a
Yeah.
decade. But it doesn't sound. It doesn't sound like if you're going into this, if someone out there is probably gonna hear this and go and listen to Abstract Mind State, don't expect anything like Donda because it's not that. It sounds a lot like very, very old like Kanye production in the sense of like, like when I say very, very old, I mean like very, very old, like college dropout, like pre college dropout or around there kind of thing. Like